Hello, St. John Fisher. We're here at the Murphy Dining Hall where we have our bake shop and our commissary. And I'm here with Chef Allison, who is our pastry chef. And today we are going to do a fall favorite, which I'd like to think everybody loves, and that is scratch-made pumpkin pie.
Go.
I'm going to have Chef Allison actually put together our batter for the fresh pumpkin pie. Introducing the ingredients would be a pumpkin puree. We've got some cage-free whole eggs, some evaporated milk. We've got our standard spices that go in the pumpkin pie, which include clove, ginger, and cinnamon. And then we also have an abundance of sugar as needed for, obviously, any dessert that Allison makes.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and I'm going to take a step back and let Allison make the batter.
Okay guys, it's pretty simple. It's a basic custard. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all of our pumpkin puree out of our container. It's easiest to do with a rubber spatula, that way you make sure you get it all. I'm sure you've heard before, baking is a science, so we want to make sure we get all the ingredients out. Okay, so we got that in there. So next we're going to add 2 whole eggs. So we add it right in. We have some evaporated milk that we're going to add in there. We also have our spices, which Chef Joel already explained to us. And then we have some sugar and a little bit of salt, just gives it a little bit better of a flavor. So we take our whisk and we're just going to mix everything all together. It can get a little messy, so just kind of go slow at first and then just mix it all up in there. And it's looking pretty good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add it to our pie shell.
Okay, so to introduce the pie shell as well, there's a few ways to do this. Obviously, if you're at home and you don't want to put together the fresh dough, you're more than welcome to get a store-bought one. But let's make sure it's raw, not cooked. A lot of the time, what pastry chefs will do is they'll actually blind bake the pies in order to have the ingredients and the pie itself cook at a commensurate level. With pumpkin pie, because it's a custard base and the amount of time it cooks, we recommend actually using a raw pie dough. So Allison's going to go ahead and add this into the pie, and then we'll show you our final product, which she put together prior to the cooking video.
Okay, we're going to start out, I just put this in the pie shell already. I'm just going to show you real quick a basic fluting. You can just take your thumb and your index finger and you just slightly pinch it as you go along, and you just move it around. Just move it as you go. This doesn't have to be perfect, especially if you're making it at home. So we just do that real quick. This just makes it look a little bit more custom. And there's tons of different ways that you can do fluting, whatever you like best. So that's just a basic one. So then we're going to get our filling again, and we're going to go back in with our rubber spatula, and we're going to make sure everything is mixed up really good. And then we're going to scrape it all into our bowl. Try not to make too much of a mess, but if you do, it's okay.
All right, and you can see that Chef Allison put together a pie last night. We recommend letting the pie and the custard set overnight for the best possible product. So here we have the finished product. And Chef, about how long does that take in the oven and at what temperature?
So we bake it at 350. We use convection oven, so at home you can go up to 400. And we bake it for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then if it still doesn't seem like it's completely done, you can just decrease the temperature by about 25 degrees. And bake it until it comes out clean. So I just stuck a little knife in there and make sure that it comes out clean.
You know, another method you could use at home too is the toothpick method. I'm sure everybody's seen when checking a custard. What Chef Allison is referring to is, you know, putting a knife or a toothpick in there and pulling it out. As it comes clean, it means the custard and the egg have set and you have a finished and safe to eat product. Okay, so Allison has, cooked this pie a day ahead. I recommend that for anybody that is cooking this dessert because it sets up nicely overnight and cuts better. And you can see how cleanly it cut. One of the great things about pumpkin is that it's high in vitamins and actually has a lot of great health benefits despite being in a form here where it's also sweet. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. But what we're going to do is I'm going to have Chef Allison finish the dish. I don't personally see pumpkin pie as being anything but with whipped cream. So I'm going to go ahead and have...
Sure, absolutely. So you can just take some whipped cream. We have a star tip on the bag. You can just use, like, if you're at home, a Ziploc bag and just cut the corner. So we can just do it any way you like. Put a little swirl on the top, and then right here we have some white chocolate curls, which is really nice to finish it. And then a little bit of chocolate, because you can never go wrong with chocolate.
Good.
So there you go.
Very nice, simple, and elegant presentation, and happy cooking.